Hey guys, it's Chris and welcome back to another video, this time talking about The Witcher, the upcoming series on Netflix. And of course, this is based off fantasy short stories and novels by Polish author Andrzej Sapkowski. So let's jump right in, everything you need to know about the upcoming show, The Witcher. But first, let me thank my newest Patreons. Thank you to Alana, thank you to Natalie Sanchez, and thank you to Paige. I really appreciate the support. And also let me thank my newest channel member, Monica. You guys can now join the channel by hitting the little join button right beside the subscribe button and get a few perks like custom emojis as well as name badges that go beside your name in the chat or comments. So thank you to all my channel members as well as Patreons. You guys keep this channel going. Alright, so everything we need to know about The Witcher, the upcoming show on Netflix, as I mentioned before. These were originally published in the late 1980s as short stories, but became so popular that a novel series was created starting in 1994 with Blood of Elves. This series follows Geralt of Rivia, who Henry Cavill will play in the Netflix show, who is a Witcher. So what the hell is a Witcher? A Witcher is someone who has undergone extensive training, mental and physical conditioning, including potions that mutate their bodies, and magical rituals such as the one a Witcher must pass to gain the cat-like eyes and therefore night vision. And training takes place in so-called Witcher schools, essentially preparing them for becoming monster slayers for hire. And the result of all this training, magic, and potions results in Witchers being sterile. They are also highly resistant or immune to disease and have a boosted immune system and advanced healing. They have enhanced speed, reflexes, strength, and endurance, far beyond what a normal human has, as well as the ability to cast combat magic with the form of signs. They also develop a so-called Witcher sense, a sixth sense so to speak, where they can essentially feel things around them, which of course leads them to be great hunters and trackers. And on top of all this, they also have accelerated healing and a much longer lifespan than normal, as in centuries. So a Witcher is basically just a warrior with supernatural abilities who protects humanity from all types of creatures in return for gold. Witchers do carry two swords, one steel and one silver, the silver being for monsters, although in the show it looks like they're going to be just including the one sword, the silver one, which does kill monsters and humans as well. And sometimes monsters and humans are the same thing. But anyway, some of the creatures he may encounter are werewolves, vampires, djinns, orcs, shapeshifters, ghouls, and other various creatures. However, this show is not just about being a monster hunter. In the Witcher lore, an event known as the conjunction of spheres, essentially two planets passing near or through one another, opened a gateway for these magical creatures to appear on the continent. And by the way, the continent is the actual name of the world that the story is set in. So the Witchers became relied upon to kill these monsters. However, due to their powers and mysterious backgrounds, the Witchers are also hated by other humans in some cases. But again, as I mentioned, the story is far more than just monsters and action. Like Game of Thrones, there's plenty of drama, sex, and political chaos. However, the main point of the story centers around the characters, mainly Geralt, as he protects Ciri, a princess who seems to have a destiny intertwined with Geralt to become a Witcher. Now, the novels were mainly underground until about 2007. That changed when CD Projekt Red released The Witcher, a popular video game series inspired by the books, and their popularity skyrocketed. That game also spawned two sequels, The Witcher 2, Assassin of Kings, and The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt. By the way, I am streaming Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt on Twitch right now. So for a shameless plug, be sure to check the link in the description and follow me on Twitch, and join us as we hang out, play games, and just chat it up. Now, the games are set in the same universe as the books, but they take place years after the storyline of the books, but it does look as if the show on Netflix will follow the source material and be during the time of the books. So, who are our main characters? I already mentioned Geralt of Rivia. He is the central character who is said in the stories to be a legendary Witcher, but whether he is famous or infamous is more open to interpretation. He is also Ciri's adoptive father, and despite their relationship, loved the sorceress Yennefer, who is considered the love of his life. And then we have Yennefer, and the show being played by Anya Chalotra. Yennefer is a sorceress who had a rough childhood from the moment she was born, having been born a hunchback with some other deformities. You can see in the trailer, in some parts of it, she does look a bit deformed in the face. Her father detested her due to this deformity and blamed Yennefer's mother for it, claiming it was her side of the family with mages and elven blood that caused this deformity. Her mother did initially try to protect Yennefer until one day he left both of them. After this, her mother, upset that her husband had left, also began to beat her own daughter. And without getting too deep as to spoil anything that may or may not happen in the show, Yennefer does overcome all this and was Geralt's true love and mother figure to Ciri, whom she viewed like her own daughter. And last but not least, we do have Ciri, played by Freya Allan on the Netflix TV show. Ciri was the sole princess of Cintra, the daughter of Pavetta and Duny, as well as the granddaughter of the queen. Now, after Geralt helped lift a curse on Duny, Ciri's father, he asked what reward the Witcher would like, and Geralt proclaimed the Law of Surprise, as it turned out her mother Pavetta was pregnant with Ciri, unbeknownst to Duny. So now, of course, you're asking what the hell the Law of Surprise is. So, the Law of Surprise is an ancient custom where the law dictates that a man saved by another is expected to offer something to the savior that is unknown to one or both parties. In most cases, this takes the form of the saved man's firstborn child, conceived or born without the father's knowledge. So Ciri essentially became this promise to Geralt to become a Witcher. Now later on, after the death of her mother, Ciri was now the only remaining heir to Cintra, and thus the queen raised her own granddaughter. The queen did try to protect Ciri from being the child of this Law of Surprise, but Ciri's nanny told her all about the white-haired Witcher that would one day return to take her away to be trained as a Witcher as well, and Ciri began to believe this was her own destiny. And with Geralt now accepting Ciri as his destiny, he took the young girl with him to a Witcher school where he grew up, both to keep her in hiding and to train her to be a Witcher. And all this takes place while the Nilfgaardian Empire was described as the strongest army in the history of the world, which is an empire to the south, continues to conquer lands and spread, so there will be lots of war. And that's it. That's the basics of The Witcher and the few things we can look forward to on the upcoming Netflix series. Again, this was just kind of a bird's eye overview of our three main characters and a general idea of what it's going to be about. It's certainly not just going to be about a monster slayer, although that's certainly part of the story. This is centered around characters and cool plot twist as well. So I'm really looking forward to it. So let me know in the comments what you think. Are you looking forward to The Witcher now that we have a little trailer? What do you think about the trailer that we saw? And if you're not familiar with The Witcher, is this something you're going to be interested in watching? A lot of these new fantasy shows, including The Witcher, are looking to become the next big thing, like Game of Thrones. Anyway, guys, as usual, thank you for all the support, especially you guys on Patreon, and a huge shout out to my executive Patreon SmokeScreen producers. And as usual, if you dig what I do here, please give these videos a like, comment, and share. And also be sure to subscribe to get everything, and click that notification bell so you're notified when I drop a new video. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.